All right, what's up you guys? I'm back again with another video, and I've been getting this question a lot since the patch has come out recently about what healer to play for 8.2. Yes, I'm in a new room. I'm in the middle of moving right now, so things are kind of, all over the place, but I guess we'll just forego that for now. But basically, I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. I want to start by saying that you can play any healer that you fucking want to play. This is just a video for people that are unsure and are looking for a new main or want to know what healer to pick going into 8.2. But any healer is fine to play. Play what you want. Don't get upset that I'm making this video. It's just for those players who are looking for a little bit of advice. So that's what this video is all about. So with that being said, we're going to hop into it. If you haven't seen, there's been a lot of class changes going on over the past couple of days, and I expect more coming into the start of season 3 for 8.2. Right now is a great time to make a new class or pick up a new healer because of the new zones. It's really easy to get geared. There's a lot of new content coming out with the dungeon and the raid, and that dungeon's a mythic 0 at 415 base eye level. So right when you hop in that dungeon, all the loot from there is 415. So it's an easy way to catch up these new healers that you might pick up. But there's been some changes, and I expect more to come out. Right now, there's a notable change here on MMO Champion, Pack Spirit, which was the Azurite traits that Shamans use that made them pretty much immune to taking any damage while in Ghost Wolf. They just healed for like a ridiculous amount. That was nerfed. Now, did Shamans need that nerf? That's besides the point. I don't think they really did need that nerf. But that trait was absolutely ridiculous and it needed to get taken care of. But I would like Shamans to receive some kind of subsequent buff following this because it's not really fair. But with that being said, Shamans were already on the top of the list for me. They were always kind of like that mid-tier healer, not that effective. So with this change, I expect Shamans just to be a little bit weaker than they were. So there's no way I can recommend Shaman at this current point in the expansion or in 8.2. Doesn't mean you can't play one, but I wouldn't recommend it. Moving on to the Mistweaver Monk. Mistweaver Monk hadn't really seen too many changes. There is a new essence that's coming out for all classes called Conflict and Strife. I might put an image here on the screen. Conflict and Strife allows you to unlock an extra honor talent everywhere you go in the game. It basically becomes a baseline ability. Now, with that being said, Mistweaver Monks get Way of the Crane. Now, unfortunately, there is a stealth nerf, I'm being told, and I definitely noticed this the other day. Nothing has changed in the text. Way of the Crane works the exact same. It increases your physical damage by 25%, and you become immune to all snare and root effects. But the healing bonus, healing all allies within the 3 nearest allies, for 150% of the damage you deal during that 15 seconds. It says 150%, but over the past couple of months, people have been saying that Way of the Crane is kind of bugged, or the text is wrong, the tooltip is wrong, and it's healing for more than that. Well, they made a correction, it seems like, and now it only heals for 150%. Now, that 150% is definitely just too low. It doesn't feel like it heals enough for the amount of mana that it costs, and because of this change to Way of the Crane, I just can't recommend Mistweaver as one of the top healers, just like Shamans, because of, well, they're just not good in a lot of comps, right? Mistweaver is still going to be good in like Walking Dead, and maybe TSG is going to be a really good comp now with Warriors getting a little bit of a buff, and you're going to see things like Turbo. But in general, there's just better healers out there, and if you're looking for a top performing healer, I wouldn't recommend Monk. And one of the reasons, I'm a Monk main, but one of the reasons why I loved Monk was because of Way of the Crane. But with this change to the tooltip and how it actually works and how much it heals for, I just can't recommend the class. Once again, it's not a healer that I think you should pick up unless you're really new to healing. Then without Way of the Crane, the class is pretty simple. There's lots of ways to just simply sit back behind a pillar and heal. All right, so here we are on the Resto Druid. I recently got this Resto Druid to 120 a little while ago, and I finally got it geared and got my neck level up. I'm somewhat geared through doing the Nazjatar intro quest. You get a ton of AP for doing that, so make sure you do that if you do get one of these alts up and going, or a new healer, or just your current mains. Make sure you go through Nazjatar because it is an excellent way, to get artifact power. But now, besides the point there, Resto Druid is still one of the top healers by far. For me, I think it is one of the strongest healers because of the fact that you can get mana so easily by going off into the corner and getting those stealth drinks, right? You can just go into stealth and sip on some of that arena water, and that's an excellent way to try and outlast your opponents. And they also just deal a ton of damage with Feral Affinity in 2v2s. They're super disruptive, and they're good in a lot of comps where Mistweaver Monk, Resto Shaman, and even Discipline Priest are not. Now, Discipline Priest, I'm not really going to mention in this video. I know they got a buff, and that's not to hurt anyone's feelings. It's just that they're still not strong enough, so they do need some kind of rework when it comes to arena. But it looks like Druid is still going to be one of the king healers, and I can show you just simply based on this little page right here. If you look at this page, you can see Resto Druids above 2400 are the predominant spec being played next to Holy Paladin, and that leads me to the next healer. All right, boys, so here we are on the final healer, the healer that I started the video with, the Holy Paladin. Paladin. I'm going to recommend Holy Paladin to anybody who wants to pick up a new healer because it's an easier healer to grasp, in my opinion, when it comes to, or when compared to Resto Druid. Resto Druid is a little bit more complicated, regardless of what anyone says. Resto Druid has more things to manage, multiple forms. You run out of mana faster, so you have to be smart about how you spend your mana, and you can get caught. If you trinket too early on your Resto Druid, or you trinket something that you shouldn't trinket, you can get caught in a stun and die out of form, just like you would with a Mistweaver Monk. Whereas Paladin, even if you trinket early on in the game, you still have things like Bop, Bubble, and you deal tons of damage. I'll show some footage here on the screen, but Holy Paladins are by far one of the most fun healers for me. This is going to be my main this season. I am transitioning from playing a Monk to a Paladin this season because I find it more enjoyable. I'm much more tanky. I don't run out of mana. And, you know, quite frankly, the class is just a more well-rounded class, and I can play all of the top comps as a Holy Paladin, where you can't really play them as a Mistweaver Monk except a few comps. And just because of that, I can't recommend the other healers except Resto Druid and Holy Paladin. I mean, you can play whatever you want. Again, it's totally up to you guys, but if you just look at these charts, whether it be 2v2 or 3v3, and there's tons of charts and databases you can use, Holy Paladin and Resto Druid are by far some of the top healers when it comes to 2v2s and 3v3s. Once again, overall, Resto Druid might be a better overall healer, but it's much more difficult to play. So the choice is yours. It's completely up to you. If you have more questions, you can check me out at my live stream if you want to ask me questions there, or you can ask questions in the comment section below, and I'll hit you guys up with a response if you have any questions. If you guys are looking for individualized coaching when it comes to Arena, I have a Patreon page there you can check out. There's some of the most inexpensive coaching anywhere on the internet, and it's something I truly enjoy doing. People get results that way, and it's a great way if you want to get more personalized help. But that is going to do it for this video, you guys. These are just my recommendations. If you guys like the video, you can hit it with a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can thumbs it down. If you have any questions, once again, hit me up in the comment section below or on my stream, and I'll see you guys next time.